Hello everybody. Today my topic of discussion is human brain, and we will mainly focus on the location and the different parts of the human brain along with the functions. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe the channel to get the notifications of daily uploaded new educational videos. Stay tuned. Let's go to the tutorial now, friends. So, first of all, we will discuss about the frontal lobe, which is a very important part of the brain. It is the largest of the four major lobes of the brain of the humans. So this thing you have to keep in your mind, that the largest lobe of the human brain is the frontal lobe, which present in frontal side of the brain. What is the location? It is located at the front of each cerebral hemisphere. The functions are very important. It considered as action cortex, means whatever the actions we are doing in our daily life, the physiological actions and all other actions, these are all controlled by this frontal lobe of the human brain. It is involved in the skeletal movement, ocular movement, control of speech, then expression of emotions, etc. So from this part we can identify that it is involved not only with the physical movement but also with the mental action too. Like the parts which are made up of the skeletal muscle, that parts movement is totally controlled by the frontal lobe. Then the ocular movement means some parts of the eye. Then the control of the speech, how we will speak, how we will talk, and how we will express our emotions, whatever the emotions may be. It may be anger, it may be laughter, it may be happiness, it may be sadness. Everything is controlled by the frontal lobe. It is very important. Helps in the decision making, which is the most important part of our daily life. So, this is the frontal lobe. So, next we will discuss about parietal lobe. It is located above the temporal lobe and behind the frontal lobe. Okay. So number one, it integrates sensory informations from various parts of the body. So this parietal lobe is basically involved with the sensory information. Sensory information means we know that there are a particular part named the spatial sense, which is uh, expressed by different special sense organs of our body, like the eye, then ear, then nose, the tongue, the skin, etc. So this parietal lobe, it integrates the sensory informations from various parts of the body. It helps to recognize writing on the skin by touch alone, which is known as graphesthesia. So this is also a very important part. Its posterior part receives somatosensory and visual input, which then through the motor signals controls the movement of the arm, hands and eyes. Likewise, you want to pluck a flower from the tree. So your eye observes the flower, and this parietal lobe coordinates this sensory information with the movement of the arm, hand, then you go there and you pluck the flowers. So this coordinated activity is totally controlled by the parietal lobe of the brain. Now we will discuss about the occipital lobe. It is situated at the back of the head. So it is we will find it at the back side of our head. What is the function? This lobe is divided into several functional visual areas. Its first functional area is primary visual cortex. So this occipital lobe, we can say it is totally associated with vision. Next we will discuss about Temporal lobe. It is located at the bottom middle portion of the brain, as just from the location we have seen that. Sorry. So, what are the function? Its functions related to the primary auditory cortex. So, it is related with the hearing part. This is the vast area responsible for interpreting information in the form of sounds from the ears. Means what the sound is entered into the ear, what the means that is. So, this is all means interpreted by the temporal lobe. It also helps to establish the object recognition, like recognition of the faces. Means if we see somebody, if we meet with somebody, in the next time when we will meet that person, we will identify that person. So this is very much important, and it is totally controlled by the temporal lobe. It helps in understanding and giving meaning of the language. So if we want to understand, we are Bengali speaking people, if we want to understand what the people trying to say in Hindi or in English or in Tamil or in any other language, then we can recognize, we can understand that language if we know that with the help of the temporal lobe. As a part of limbic system, it helps in the motivation, emotion, learning and memory. So in the psychological part also it helps. So this is the history of temporal lobe. Next we will discuss about the cerebellum, which is a very important part of the brain. It is the major feature of the hindbrain of the human. Now, what are the function? It plays an important role in the motor control. Motor control means the movement of the hands, the maintenance of the balance. The cerebellum does not initiate movement but helps in coordination, precision and accurate timing. That means if you want to grab something with the help of your hand, what is the timing? That is totally controlled by the, or you are helped by the cerebellum to do that fine job. Cerebellar damage produces disorders in the fine movement, equilibrium, posture, and motor learning of the human. So, these four sectors are totally interrupted if there is any problem in the functional status of the cerebellum. That means the fine movements will be lost, then no body balance will be there, means the body balance will be not so much fine, so not so much accurate. The posture, the person will be disbalanced somehow, and the motor learning of the humans will not be so much sound. Now, it is also involved in some cognitive functions like attention, language, as well as emotional control, such as regulating fear and pleasure responses. So, these are the importance of the cerebellum. Next, we are going to discuss about the spinal cord. It is a long, thin, tubule-like structure. It is made up of nervous tissue. We all know that. It extends from the medulla oblongata in the brainstem to the lumbar region of the vertebral column. That means up to the last part of the vertebral column. Function, it helps in the somatosensory organization. For example, C6 means cervical 1 to cervical 6. Controls neck flexors, means we can move our neck part with the help of this C1 to C6 part of the spinal cord. Then T7 to L1 controls the abdominal muscles, like that. T for thoracic, L for lumbar. So these are the uh, parts of the spinal cord, which will be discussed in detail in another video. So this is the spinal cord. So thank you very much for your patient listening. Hope you understood well. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep in touch. So long. Have a good day.